welcome to the channel. Hope you are having a fantastic day. Today we're doing technical analysis on a stock. It's an energy stock that actually picked up from $1.72 all the way up to $3.33. And we're going to do a couple of analysis on this. And we're going to talk about what the institutional banks are holding for the stock, what is the company's net worth, and if they are profitable or if there's any scope for the stock to go up, right? The stock really is cheap right now. And before I get into the technical analysis, let's talk about the company itself. The company we're talking about today is USWS. This is a U.S. well service company. It's an energy company. They well the crude oil. So this company actually has about $96 million market cap. Market cap is nothing but your outstanding shares times the price. On an average, they do about 1.5 million shares. Every day the shares are traded at 1.5 million. Today they're trading about 59 million, as rightly so. We already know the stock was spiked at the pre-market and suddenly just started going down again. So we'll see whether it's a good option. So let's look at the institutional banks, how much they're holding. So institutional banks hold more than 50%. They hold 64% of the stock. When you have a large number like this, institutional banks are holding, that's a great sign for a company. That company definitely is. It's definitely worth to be part of your watch list, or if the stock price is right, you should be part of your portfolio, right? So who are the institutional banks? These are the big companies like BlackRock, Morgan Stanley, State Street, JP Morgan Chase, all these big companies, right? And if you look at the new positions, nine institutional banks increased their position by 747,000. And only 78,000 were sold out, which means they're not selling more than they're buying. Okay, so that means the institutional banks are believing in that company as well. So let's look at the chart and see where we are right now. Okay, the chart that I drew up, I have a couple of supports here and resistance. I'm going to look at the moving averages along with the RSI and MACD, right? So let's start with the support and resistance first. Now, the stock was actually fluctuating from the March, when the March began. It was fluctuating between $1.50 all the way up to $2.19. Suddenly, because of the whole oil prices going up and everything, the energy stocks boomed, and this one also in pre-market boomed up to $3.33. And then very quickly on the next day, is just, people, because it's, as you know, right, a lot of it owned by institutional banks, and when they see a profit, they will take their profit, right? So when they started taking their profit, the stock fell. Right now the stock is still fluctuating again to the same resistance and support it was there from last 3-4 days. The stock is at around $1.84. Now let's see what happens for the moving averages, right? So moving averages, if you look at the 200 moving average, this is from last 200 periods. It's $1.22, which means that right now the stock, like if you were to go back 200 periods, the stock is overvalued right now as a $1.84, right? And last 50 periods, the average is about 174, which is around the same as 184, which is not that far off, right? So that could be met. Now there's a resistance line at $2.19. Let's say if the stock does go up, if it hits the resistance, it's going to go back down to $1.40. Now, if it hits that support and it crosses that support, the next support is 80 cents. Okay, and this is from me going back a few months. I went back a few months and see where the support was. From the 80 cent support was 2020 when everything was fine, and then 2019. I think at 2019 the stock prices were around $38, but I think they weren't being profitable, so which is why the stock price started declining steadily, right? At that point, then they took out some loans and they bought some new machinery with the electric fleet, and combining with their diesel fleet, so they're more being environmental friendly, which is why you see a big stake of institutional banks being part of this. So they did hit a $11 run in 2021, which is in February, and then they also hit another run at $5.56, and they had a couple of good peaks at that point. The highest it went, the resistance they have, let's say for example, if they go back, let me go back to the beginning, right? Let's see if they go back to the resistance that we had for today, for example, right? If it crosses that resistance, my chart is loading. Just give it a minute. So right now, if it crosses this resistance at $3.30, let's say that crosses this resistance at $2.19, the next resistance is at $3.32, and let's say if it crosses that as well, where would be the next resistance? The next resistance is at $4.65. So the next resistance is $4.65. If it does cross $3 mark, the next resistance is $4.35. But for now, the RSI, there's a lot of market pressure on this. If I'm on a daily chart, for example, there's a lot of market pressure. The stock MACD is going up. The stock is going up, which of course indicating from this point, the stock actually rose all the way down, all the way up to $3.33. So there's a lot of pressure. Now, when you have a pressure like this on a market, for the stock is being traded heavily, you always want to wait. Anything above 70, it indicates that stock is overbought. And MACD is also a reflection of your moving average conversion and diversion, a short length and a long length, which also indicates that if both are in the same direction, you can anticipate the stock price to rise, which holds true because, looking at last few days, it was at $1.50. Now it's at $1.87. So there is a buying pressure here, right? However, when there's a buying pressure, let me just give you an example. When there's a buying pressure, you always have the stock. The next phase is the stock is going to start declining. Okay, so if I can find one example, anything below 30. So for example, right here, right, anything below 30, the stock is being oversold. Right here, for example, you have a stock which is overbought at $69, right? Then it started declining, and it all the way went down to $2.83 from $4, right? So right now the stock is being overbought. However, I would say add it to your watch list. Watch this stock and mark these support and resistance that I have here. I have a short-term support and resistance on a 30-minute chart and a long-term. So 30-minute chart right now is fluctuating between $1.48 and $2.19. And if it goes down, and if it goes below $1.48, let's say it goes down to $1.44 or 40 cents, the next support is at 80 cents. So when it goes to 80 cents, I would definitely recommend that at that point the stock should be picked up, because some analysts already said that in next 3 months you could see the stock again going back to $3 or so. So if it goes up, if it started rising and it's crossing the $2.19 mark, the next stop is $3. So you can actually make a quick gain as well if it started rising and crosses our resistance of $2.19. If it crosses that, and if it crosses $3.26, the next stop is $4. Right now, the market situation with energy stocks all booming. I would recommend the entry point would be if it goes down and let it free fall to 80 cents. If it started going up, I would say make a quick buck. It should be a swing trade. It shouldn't be a long-term hold. If it started going up, you could make a quick buck, within a week or two, and be able to get your profit. So again, this is not a financial advice. This is something that I recommend to my family and friends and myself. So I put it out there just for you guys, whoever would like this information and be able to do their own research and be able to invest in it. So this was my video for today. Hope you guys liked it. Please do hit the subscribe button and like this video, and I'll be making more videos, different stocks. Thank you.